For me, the times that actually I succeeded the most is when I kind of let go of the pressure of wanting to grow, wanting things to be better, and I kind of just tried to have fun.
Today, we're breaking the internet with Nadav Ben Shlomo, a master craftsman and artist whose passion for woodworking has captured the attention of nearly 500,000 followers on Instagram. Nadav's journey started with a simple birdhouse as a child, and now his stunning creations paired with ASMR have dominated an interesting niche. He smashed the Instagram algorithm with videos that range from 10 to 100 million views. In this video, we're going to find out how Nadav turned his childhood hobby into a viral sensation, the secrets behind his most viral videos, and why he believes that creating content should always be fun.
I like to have fun.
Let's dive into the art and heart of Nadav Ben Shlomo. Firstly, thank you so much for coming on. I'm sitting here with Nadav, who is an artist and a craftsman, but also a very skilled content creator with 500,000, well, nearly 500,000 followers on Instagram, and a bunch of, and a load more across the board on other platforms. The first question I've got is, you make amazing things from wood, and it feels like it's a channel of passion for you, right? What you do. I've read that you started doing this when you were sort of 4, and you started a channel maybe when you were 18 or something like that. Is that right?
My YouTube channel, I started it around a year and a half ago. But actually my Instagram, I started it when I was around 18, 19, I started it. But yeah, I wouldn't say I started when I was 4 to carve, but when I was 4, I started to make things with my hands, and like mainly like birdhouses or anything that I could create, I would make. And my father, he bought me a set of tools, and I really I was drawn to tools and to make things, especially with wood. And carving, it only came when I was around 11, 12, when I understood I could use a knife to make sharp, like I would go on hikes and I would make sharp sticks. That's how it started.
Okay, well, of course, that's kind of like a traditional boy thing to do. Yeah, okay. And
I remember I took a Japanese, like a X-Acto knife. I don't know how you call it in English. The one-time use blades. This to mark things or to cut things.
Oh. Sure, yeah, okay.
It was so satisfying to cut the wood with it.
Was the obsession with carving when you were younger, was it using the sharp tool and you thought, oh, this is cool that it cut, or was it, making something from the wood at that point?
At that time, I really enjoyed just using the knife. At some point, when I actually managed, I think I was around 15, first time I managed to make like a small, or 14, I managed to make a small figurine, like a small face. And then I think when this happened, I started making more gifts, and I started being more focusing on making things and being admired for my parents, my grandmother, my friends. They were like, wow. And I guess this gave me a lot of attention also. And this made me also devote more time in it.
And what made you stick with it throughout? Obviously, through you explained through your childhood, but up until now, what's kind of made you stick with it?
For a while, it really was a source for me for attention also, and for love from other people, because I would create something and because I was quite good, people would really genuinely give me attention for it and praise me for it. And I think this, when I was younger, this got me really stuck on it. And at some point, I started carving more for myself. When I look at my creative life, I can see very clearly that there is a force that drives me to create, to be present. My YouTube videos, they talk about just a period of time that was last year that I really felt like I was going all the time. I would create, I would upload videos to YouTube, to Instagram. I was addicted on looking on my phone and looking how many views I have. Yeah, and it really disturbed me. Back then, it really disturbed my creation, because instead of creating, I would be obsessed about looking on my phone. And then this is when I kind of went back, when I tried to solve this problem, because so I had to reflect on it. And I went back to my past, and I kind of try to realize. And this is how I can answer you also, that I think that this was a big motivation for me to create.
Did it affect the pieces that you made, doing it for yourself versus, doing it for the views?
Yeah, I would say it affects. But I think it affects more the way I present it, or the way I edit, or the way the things that I say. Sometimes I feel like I have videos that I say things, and on Instagram mainly, and videos that I don't say anything. And many times the videos without any words, they succeed more than the videos that I say something. But actually, sometimes I want to speak and I want to express myself. And actually, it made me for a while shut down this part of me of wanting to express myself, which is a shame.
It's fascinating that you're doing that. I think a lot of men especially don't express those feelings openly. So what you're doing, I think, is really cool. And you're doing it whilst creating amazing things with your hands, right? Which is great. But I'm going to get onto your social media stuff in just a moment. Just one more thing on your craft, if you don't mind. Are you able just to walk us through the process of creating one of your pieces, from where does the wood come from to the finish?
Yeah, I collect only fallen trees, or trees that already been cut by gardeners or something, things that I find. I don't like to hurt trees. And whatever I find, I just look to see if it's nothing toxic, which is rarely toxic like the wood, but I look for it. And then I usually split the wood. I try to understand if I want to make a spoon, if I want to make a bowl, in the end, I need to have a desire to create something. And then I kind of look on the wood, and I kind of try to look where the wood takes me. I kind of try to understand the shape of the tree, usually when you split wood, it has a motion. I just try to take this motion. I try to take this movement of the tree and follow it, and kind of reflect back and forth on what I carve, and then I look and I see what else I should change. And it's kind of a technique I trained myself into, to have intuition, to look on the piece and kind of have the feeling what needs to be removed. You can't explain it in words exactly.
Super interesting. So going on to your social and your creative side beyond the wood, what made you first, going back a little bit, decide to take pictures of your art and your crafts, start filming videos? What made you make that choice?
I did start with pictures only when I was 18. I enjoyed taking pictures since I was, I would say 16 or even 15. I worked in the summer and I bought my own camera. And then again, when I was 16, I bought again a better camera. And I really enjoyed the process of taking pictures and really having nice pictures. I uploaded maybe once a week, once a month, sometimes once every few months.
What kind of following did you have at that point?
I would say that 2.5 years ago, I had around 500, 600. And then once I started to be more consistent, then last year, like 1 year ago, exactly 1 year ago, I had around 1,800 followers on Instagram, something like this. Yeah.
Unbelievable. And now it's nearly 500,000.
Yeah, it blew up. It blew up in the last, I would say since October.
Congratulations for that. A lot of your pieces have 10, 12, the 61 million, 12 million, an amazing achievement on social media, frankly.
If it's something that interests you, I can tell you the numbers. I have them approximately. I was on October, I got around October, 5,000 followers. And then on December, it was around 30,000 followers.
Okay.
It went up, I think, 50,000 followers at January, February. And then it went fast, but also it never stopped in a way. Yeah. And now just in the last 2 months, it became from 250 to 500,000 million. So yeah, 1,000. Sorry.
Why do you think that is?
I managed to find a way to show and to share something I'm passionate about. And I managed to find a way to show it in a very satisfying way, in a very, I think it has to do with the quality of the footage.
For sure.
Because I did buy a new camera. I bought it 1 year ago.
What camera was it, if you did?
The Fujifilm X-T3.
X-T3, okay.
Yeah, and the reason for that is I did a research. I really like the Fujifilm colors. They have, they make their own recipes for the pictures and the videos also. The X-T3 was the cheapest model that took good quality videos.
Like the best quality, like the cheapest, best quality camera you can get, yeah.
Yeah, and it's a kind of a hybrid camera. I can take good photos and I can take... good video.
So you said last year, so October time, you had about 5,000 followers, and then by November it jumped up to 20. Is that when you bought the new camera?
No, I bought it at June. But the thing is that usually I film. That's my process. I film and I use my footage. I edit it quite afterwards. Like I have videos that I post now that I filmed 4 months ago, 3 months ago.
Ages ago. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Also, it takes time. I do think that it took time for the algorithm to kind of understand and to kind of absorb who react. And it took some, I had videos that had 20,000 views. Like for me, it was exciting when I got 10,000 views, 20,000 views on a video, on a short video, on a reel.
So are you disappointed now if you get 20,000?
No. I would say there was a time I was disappointed, but now I also understand that sometimes it kind of needs to, it's kind of like waves, you know, it needs several videos that it goes slow, that nothing happens much, and just, I shouldn't stress myself about these things. There was a time that I really wanted to reach to new audience and to new people. And at some point I really realized that I should just focus on the people I have and the people that already follow me. And I think this shift really, really changed something, because after I decided that, really things started to grow, and I much more interacted with the people. I much more used my stories, and I just tried to more like just give already the people that exist my passion and the people who already follow me. And I think just this made also a big change.
When you come to create content, you said you have like a bank of footage that things that you've made and filmed from many months ago. How do you do you have like a content calendar? Is it that advanced, or do you just think, I'm going to edit this today? Like, I'm going to edit this one this week? Or how do you make that decision? I'm
really not good at organizing things. I'm not good with making, like if I do a to-do list, usually I will not, it's like not the things I write on the to-do list, I will not do. So it's hard for me to, I try to, I have more of an intuitive approach to these things. I like to kind of feel that, okay, I want to post a video, I want to create a video, and I sit and I create what I feel like at the moment. So when I do things for my own desire and my own will, this is when actually I manage to go through things and create more, because I'm having more fun. And I think this is a big step in growing and in learning a skill, which for me was creating videos and expressing myself. I really like the way you edit, and I like the way you film as well. The composition also from a video standpoint is great in your videos. Lighting is great. The way you cut for pace is also great. Also, I've noticed in some of them you talk, some of them you don't. Some of them it's just the AMSR, like sounds of just the carving. Sometimes there's music. How do you make that decision when you're editing? Like when do you think this one I'm going to be speaking? I need to say something, or this one's going to have music? For example, when I choose if I want to speak or not, I usually, when I create video, I edit it, and then usually I put music. I choose the music after I edit it. And then when I feel like the music moves me, for me, it really touches me. Like if the music is something that moves me and I feel like I want to say something with the music, then I decide to write something down and yeah, something that is connected somehow to the what I show on the video.
You sound like you're a man of the world, like you travel a little bit. Does the place you live or the place you are, does it affect what you make and your content?
I would say that when I started my YouTube channel, there was a bit, when I look on my first 7 videos or something like this, the long videos, there was some sort of depressive feeling, because I think it was hard for me in Prague, in Czech Republic, especially in the winter. It's very cloudy and very dark, and the light is very gray. It's true that in Greece, once there's the sun and there's the like the sea, it affects my mood.
I mean, I've watched a few of your videos now on YouTube, the long form stuff, and obviously the editing is totally different. For Instagram, it's much more about pace, but also there's a big focus on the swipe feed, and the swipe feed. You know, you have to stop people swiping. Like, so do you make conscious decisions about, you know, for pacing from an editor's point of view?
So I think this is one of the points that I feel actually not that confident in yet, because like I never had any type of I never learned how to edit. I never went to a school. I never had any course or anything. Like, it was quite just me trying. Also, when I was a kid, I liked to kind of try and downloaded some free softwares. And how I do it now is I film and I kind of skim it down, where I put everything on my on my editing software, yeah, and I kind of like make it shorter, and I choose the moments that I like, and it's a very long, tedious process actually. That I think this is the main reason why I don't upload more videos, the long form videos, because it takes me a lot of time and effort to edit them, and I enjoy it, and it's satisfying for me. Also, the end result, it's a different story than the short form, but it's still like something that takes me. I need to learn a lot, but because I have, let's say, a video of 20 minutes, I guess I would have like 3 hours of footage that I need to kind of make sure to skim down.
There is just going to your long form content. There's a phrase we use called "kill your darlings" in like making movies or editing, where you have to choose bits. You know, you have your edit, and you want it to be 10 minutes, but it's 3 hours. You think, okay, well, I have to kill as much as I can to get it down. You chop it down, but you seem to do very, very well on the swipe on short form content. The video that's got 141 million views is a short form video. What insights, what things have you learned from those videos that hit over 1 million versus your other posts that say have 20,000, 50,000?
Mine, and I think it's many people on Instagram and on short form content, is making some type of a loop. Like, it's a trick, it's a bit like a trick, but I do feel quite comfortable with making the loops, because wood carving, and specifically like this ASMR movement, that this is what made me fall in love in this craft, this feeling of the knife cutting the wood, the sharp knife cutting the wood. And I think there is something like it kind of melts your brain. You look at it again and again and again, and some people don't like it. I have Facebook also that I did like automatically from Instagram to Facebook. And I think I have one video that got, I think, like 2 million views on Facebook. But it got it's full of haters. I have, I think, 140 comments and it's funny because on Instagram, people love it. Like the same video.
I find Facebook really toxic. I one of the most toxic places, full of hate over there, I feel.
Some people would say, what's the point? You don't see the end result. You don't see I make a small loop and you don't see the progress. You just see this movement. But for me, this is a thing by itself. For me, the focus in these videos is not the spoon that I'm carving or the bowl that I'm carving. The thing is the moment, this moment of pure satisfaction of carving that I just wanted to live forever, So this is kind of, this is for me, that's how I feel comfortable putting it. And it works so well because it's a loop. So the algorithm, again, it sees people watching the same video 10 times, people watch it again and again. A 5-second video, like people can watch it for 1 minute. In my experience, by doing it again and again, each time reflecting with observation, taking intuitive action and repeating this process, I've improved my eye.
So retention is obviously really important. I'm assuming that's one of the metrics, some of the data that you look at on the back end. Obviously some people want views, some people like likes, some people like comments or rewatchability or whatever. I'm assuming you're looking at retention mostly.
I studied it a lot, all this social media and how to how to win the algorithm favor and how to do everything that you will get into the wave, and I think I learned a lot, but in the end, I barely looked on statistic in a calculated way, I would say. I think at some point I understood, I kind of tried many things and I understood what worked and what didn't work. For example, just one example is that I made the videos that I oil the final carving. And I tried starting with showing the oil and oiling it. And then one video, I showed the final thing. I really fast, for 1 second, I show when it's oiled, really fast. And then I start oiling from zero. You do want to see what you're coming for. And you want to see how it got there. But this I understood not through looking at metrics. I just understood it by trying. I feel like when you look on all the videos on YouTube that teaches you how to win the algorithm, it's you need to have a hook. Yeah. So obviously you think about it when you're trying new things, but at some point, once you get it, it's kind of become more intuitive.
So we've got a great hook, which is the payoff first. Then we have a loop. What's the middle bit? What makes a good middle?
In the end, when I look on the video, I edit a video and I make the middle. I want things to have a flow. I want things to be, to be comfortable to watch. The way I do it is that I look on the video and I just try to feel what disturbed me. And sometimes I feel like the motion that I do with my hand or the cut that I do, the sound that I do, it disturbs me. So I need to change it.
It's kind of like carving a video in a way. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you ever take a video off Instagram, re-edit it because you didn't like it? You've uploaded it, but you think this isn't doing as well as it should. You knew this one should perform better and then try a different edit. Would you ever do that?
No. It did happen to me that I uploaded something and I noticed only later that there was something wrong with the sound or with something technically that was problem with the upload or something. But I think on Instagram and on the short form, especially, I prefer to just let it go. It's I know that things, they get forgotten in a way. It's a bit sad also. This is the downside of Instagram and the short content that kind of you have the feed, but at some point it's not like YouTube that you have.
It's like an evergreen content. Yeah.
Yeah, I stress much more about the long form videos, about the YouTube videos. I try to make them perfect.
You were saying earlier that for the long form stuff, you're still kind of learning about the pacing and stuff and how you're going to get to the same level of success you found with your shorts, right? And it is a different skill, I think, long form editing versus short. Where do you see, to wrap up the conversation, where do you see your channels going? What's the ultimate goal for Nadav and your crafts for your channels? I
think for me, what's important is to, I think that's what keeps me going. And I try to think, I do understand that I chose something that I'm willing to do for the next 10 years or for the long run. So I do understand that I want to share my passion and I want it to exist in my work, my passion. It has to happen. If I kind of go away and get lost and I need to go back to the passion. I need to go back to my feelings and to expressing them and sharing what I value and what I love. I want to find a way that I do this and at the same time I give value to other people. And monetizing my creations, it's very hard. I feel like it's very the whole money aspect of, in general, asking money from people, something that is not intuitive for me. Like it's a flaw when you build a business, but it's something I need to go through and to learn how to do it better.
What advice would you give someone who perhaps is starting crafting, not necessarily with wood, but just starting a channel, YouTube, Instagram, whatever it may be? They're just starting out. They have no subscribers, they have no followers, but they have really passionate about a craft and, a bit of skill with a camera. What advice would you give them to be successful on a new channel?
I think the most important thing is to have fun. Like, obviously you need many other things to make it work, but I think if you're not having fun, it just won't continue. And if you are, like, for me, the times that actually I succeeded the most is when I kind of I've let go of the pressure of wanting to grow, wanting things to be better. And I just tried to have fun. And this, where my best works were. And it just takes time, like, when you learn a new skill, it takes a lot of time. It takes months and years to learn. And it doesn't mean that it's not possible to do it in a short time, but it just having fun will make sure that you will do it for the long run.
Your tip, have fun. Okay, keep growing, keep learning. So where can people find you? What handles can people find you if they want to have a look at your art, your crafts and your videos?
Yeah, on my Instagram, it's NBS Art and Wood. I think you can probably write it.
We're going to put it in the description anyway. Don't worry, it'll be up on the screen.
Yeah, and on YouTube is Nadav Art and Wood, and these are my main platforms that I upload, and I'm active.
Nadav, I really, really appreciate you taking the time out to come and speak. Thank you so much for coming on. It's been inspiring listening to you, and I'm hopefully inspired a bunch of other content creators to start creating and perhaps follow you in your journey. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It was great speaking to Nadav about his experiences. Here are the lessons that I took away from our chat. Passion drives success. If you're genuinely passionate about what you do, other people can feel it. Nadav also said that he saw significant growth after he started being more consistent with his postings. When it comes to video editing, Nadav didn't have any conventional editing lessons. He was completely self-taught and learned essentially through trial and error. He advises to keep evolving your content. Experiment with new content ideas and don't be scared to try. Nadav also mentioned that one of the keys to his growth was that he stopped seeking new audiences and he refocused on the audience he already had, listening to feedback and engaging. He also said not to stress too much about perfecting your content. It's probably better to get something out than nothing at all. If it becomes stressful or boring, it's time to change something. If this interview brought you any value, please like and subscribe. See you next time on Break the Internet.